Good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So I'm just getting the cards ready. Hold on. Sorry. I totally forgot to share this. Dang it. Let me just share this out. Go ahead and invite people if you feel there are people in your life that could benefit from this. Let's just invite people. All right, I asked the energies what this reading was going to be about. And Pisces, when are we going to get through this? When are we going to finally neutralize this circumstance? It seems as though there is someone that wants something from you and they plan to get to it. They plan to keep going until you give in or they find a way in, or I don't know what their plan is, but I'm getting real sick of them. I don't know about you, Pisces, but this little fishy over here is tired of all the games. I mean, granted, no one's playing games with me, but still. Knowing there's games being played by other people with my fellow Pisces is enough for me, okay? It's enough for me. I don't know what they want. Hopefully we find out right now what it is they want. So let me just finish shuffling, because every day we're shuffling. Let me finish shuffling. Oh, while I'm getting the cards ready, just want to remind you guys, today is the final day to go ahead and get a ticket for my Blue Ray Flame Workshop. This is where I'm going to teach people how to harness the flame of blue rays. And it's a certificate workshop, so you have the option of getting a ticket where you're just learning this for yourself, your own enrichment, or getting a ticket where you can earn a certificate and begin applying some of these principles on your clients, assisting your clients with Blue Ray Fire. So that's on my website, emmieevolving.com. All right, guys, we almost done. Oh, look at you, girlfriend. Look at you. They're crying, Pisces. They're crying. Cry me a river. Cry me a river. Oh, thank you, Ocean Lover. That's so sweet of you. Ooh, cry me a river. Okay, all seriousness, I'm not celebrating anyone's sadness. I think they really are crying. Crying over you. Because I had to play these games with you, and you had to be a hard ass, Pisces. You had to be a hard ass because I guess they had to learn. So, Pisces, center. It's time for you to find your center. At your center, you'll realize you are at home in the muddy, murky mess that is your life. Okay? We're going to be completely honest here. Pisces, they say we hella messy. They say all this kind of stuff. It's true. We're messy. It's true. We're chaotic. We're messy. This is our home state. This is where we find center. Guess what? Right now, the world is messy. The world is chaotic. So right now, Pisces, we are rising to be a testament to the power of human tenacity. Okay? We are here existing as a template for how humanity will be getting through this mess. We're at home here. This is where we excel. This is where we feel the most comfortable. And so for many Pisces, the things that are going on in the world right now really don't even matter. We don't even really notice that. We don't. It's kind of like, oh, yeah, that sucks. But I have other things that I'm worrying about right now. That's Pisces. And it's okay for you to feel that way. Okay. It's okay for you to for once in your life, begin really, really focusing on yourself and your journey, your growth, instead of having a bleeding heart for everything, everyone, really just focusing on yourself first. Okay. This is about your growth. Card number 5, growth. Your growth is covering the whole of this world. It really, really is. You have to allow yourself to go through this process. You have a limited amount of time to harness this energy. Okay, this energy is going to begin shifting. And once it shifts, Pisces, you're going to go back to a state of having a hard time processing. Right now is the perfect time for you to begin really diving deep into the things that you're needing to address within yourself. Okay. Card number 13, Morning Dew. This is so sad. This is so sad. It's this sense, right when I saw it, it's this sense that you are just collecting their tears. Like you feel what they're going through, whoever they are. I don't know who they are, but someone who has some sort of connection to you is going through something really, really intense. And it's like you're collecting their tears for them. I think this has to do with you. It seems like maybe it's someone that flew away and their heart speaks to them. And when their heart speaks to them about you, it causes them to shed even more tears. Huh. For some Pisces that are very sensitive, you might even be hearing some of the stuff, some of that sadness. You might even be hearing it, taking it in. I don't know who that is though. Someone connected to your heart. All right. So the world wants you to come to the surface and be a part of society, but you're busy existing naked in the depths of your truth. Stay there. Okay, Pisces, stay there. You don't have to do anything someone else tells you to do. You don't have to go to surface level and play the role that someone needs you to play. Stay exactly where you are. Stay rooted in your center, the depths of your truth. Hey, if they want to be able to tap into you and your truth, then they have to learn how to go deeper. 98% at 822, 98822. This is about recognizing there is a spark of divinity in your core. This is about the reunification of self and soul, reunifying your thoughts along with your soul knowing, your human thoughts along with your soul knowing. This is about allowing the guidance to come through. Number 22, elevated guidance, divine guidance. So card number 32, trust. You have to trust in your process. You have to trust in your soul. There you are, trying to hide yourself, cocooning yourself because you're afraid how other people will see you. Okay. You know, the people who you're afraid of how they're going to see you, they already see you however they want to see you. Who cares what they think? Really, who cares what they think, Pisces? These are the very same people who never have anything nice to say to you, who never have anything nice to say about you. These are the very people who consistently look for a reason to hate on you. That's it. And what is their hate really? What is that based in? What is that about? That's about their recognition of your strength, your power, your intrinsic value, your truth. And for whatever reason, witnessing you in your element, witnessing you living your truth is threatening to them. And so I'm finding it's sort of like this mindset of, I'm going to destroy you before you get a chance to destroy me. Well, how about you play that game by yourself? Because Pisces is swimming away. Pisces has other things to do, things that are of importance, not childish behavior. So Pisces, make sure you don't allow yourself to get sucked into childish behavior, childish cycles, abusive cycles. Now is the time to really reclaim yourself. Okay. Really, really reclaim yourself, reclaim your sovereign power. No more of that being guilty because, well, you know, what if they really need me this time? They've never really needed you. Let that sink in. They've never really needed you. They've allowed you to think they need you, to give you a reason, to feel obligated to stay. Those are some heavy words. Those are some seriously heavy words. They never really needed you. Damn, I feel some people crying. But it's true. As much as you wanted to believe that they needed you, they never really did. And it's not because you have no value, you have no worth. It's because they have their own power. They have their own sovereign obligation to their growth. Stop robbing them of their potentiality, the potentiality to learn and grow and really dive deeper into their truth. Walk away, Pisces. Walk away. Swim away. Whatever you want to do, just go away. Leave that circumstance behind. And it's not necessarily that you have to leave people behind. Sometimes it takes you having more courage than they have. Courage to walk away from this particular circumstance so that they can find the courage within themselves to walk forward with you. 99% at 826. 998, 2 plus 6 is 8. 9988. So this is that divinity within you rising up, asking for you to reunify yourself and your soul, your masculine and your feminine. Your questioning with your sense of knowing. This is about a grand reunification within yourself. This is not about a reunification with someone else. And that's part of the problem, is that Pisces has really romanticized certain things, certain spiritual concepts, to the point where we're allowing those romanticized concepts to become the very shackles around our ankles, wrists, and throat. It's time to let that go. It's really, really time to let that go. It's time to allow yourself to blossom in the light of your own truth, okay? Oh, shit. That's deep. So if the light of your truth is shining bright, maybe whoever this connection is, their tears are helping to water the seeds of growth, the seeds of spiritual elevation, consciousness expansion. So I'm wondering, this is someone that definitely has a soul connection with you. Things that they've said in the past. Notice that blue sash wrapped around her waist, or whatever the hell you call that. It's over the solar plexus. So things they've said in the past have really served to cover your solar plexus. That kind of gives me the message that they've been in some ways holding you back and holding you in because of the words that they left you with, or lack thereof, lack of words, lack of communication. And although it seems like it's holding you back, it's not, because it travels with you. Instead, it's supporting a bulging solar plexus. This means that there was some sort of imbalance in your solar plexus, leading to an imbalance in your perception of your personal power. So really, the words that they said or didn't say before their departure, because remember, I got the sense that it's someone who flew away, right? So whatever it was, whatever that communication or things left unsaid, it's been holding up, supporting your solar plexus. This is the very thing that's helping to get you to realize a need for your conscious choosing of your development, a conscious choosing of your personal power. And eventually that sash is going to fall off, eventually. And when it does, you need to make sure you've done the work to recognize what healthy boundaries are for you and learn how to enforce those healthy boundaries. There will be people who will come and seem very benign. Like, oh, they need my help. They're not trying to hurt me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Boundaries are there for a reason. Okay. So one of the messages I'm getting, Pisces, is that we have a habit of, well, we'll just let one person in. We'll just let one person through the door. Okay, well, we'll let one more. Well, now that person saw, and I don't want them to feel left out. So we'll let a third in, and then a fourth, and a fifth, and a sixth, and then next thing you know, we'll let the 50th person in. And your entire field is once again inundated, overflowing with other people's pain, other people's struggles, and taking all of this in, taking ownership of other people's life lessons does not help. It doesn't help them. It robs them of their potentiality to learn, potentiality to be projected forwards. Okay, all you're doing is enabling their stagnation. So you have to really stop doing that. Be very, very aware of when you begin that type of cycling. Okay, Pisces, you have to be very aware of when you begin that. Card number 25, protective nest. So there's a huge something that you're keeping hidden deep within you. It's starting to rise to the surface, okay? It's rising to the surface. It's, I guess, becoming visible. There's a lot of messages here. B and J. Boaz, hold on. That's a High Priestess card. Hold on real quick. B, J, High Priestess. Hold on, guys. Boaz and Joaquin, meaning the beginning. Boaz signifying negation. Joaquin meaning beginning. Negation of the beginning. Negation of the beginning. What does this mean? Negation of the beginning. Virgo. So it has to do with Virgo. Virgo is Pisces' sister sign. So I see a B and a J right there. A B and a J, Boaz and Joaquin. Negation of the beginning, Virgo. We began as a very organized thought form. And our chaos hides this. We have the ability to organize. At the root of who we are, we're very organized. Organized in our chaos. From order comes, from chaos comes order, cosmos. What's this mean? A lot of the feathers covering it. Okay. Pisces, you've been hiding quite a bit. You're hiding your High Priestess status. You're hiding your ability to overcome, conquer any circumstance. You have to really stop with the illusion. It's an illusion that much of society buys into. They think Pisces is just really floaty and airy and, you know, this and that. And they don't really take us seriously, but that's a huge mistake to do that. It's a very huge mistake. Protective nest. There's something else to this message that I'm not quite pulling in. It's almost this sense of, see how it's like a rusty orange. So that would be a mix of sacral and root chakra energies, maybe a little bit of the solar plexus as well. You're wearing it on your chest with 5 buttons down the front. It's time for you to allow your change to affect the way you see yourself in a sensual, sexual way, also in a way that you see your ability to survive your circumstance. And then you have the 2 panels of ruffles down the side. This tells me you're flanked by softness, and it's in that flexible softness that really is your strength. Okay, there's a lot of strength in that. You have pearls in your hair, and even a nest. It's like your hair is such a mess. It's a bird's nest, and yet it's very very ornate. It's like you being able to wear your power, your messy power, with confidence and grace, and allowing it to rebirth 3 incarnations of yourself. Ooh, ooh. Is that a robin? Hold on. Spiritual meaning of. Okay. So the red robin celebrates spring with mellow song and symbolizes renewal, fresh beginnings, and hope. It's also a symbol of pleasure, joy, contentment, satisfaction, clarity, rejuvenation, bright future, and happiness. Okay. Let's see. Robin's meaning teaches you that you can make changes with joy, laughter, and a song in your heart. Robin's nest. Let's see. So a robin is one of the few animals that herald the coming or passing of seasons. You're entering a new season of your life. This season has to do with your internal process, how you're going. Yeah, every animal, every plant, every color, everything has some sort of spiritual meaning to it. Let's see. It's time for you to allow yourself to stretch. Notice, again, her hair is a mess. It's like a bird's nest. Pisces, your power is in your mess. Okay? Oh, that's deep. I'm being told to share with you one of the reasons it's so difficult for people with nefarious intention directed at me. It's so difficult for them to negatively affect me because really the essence of who and what I am is chaos magic. How are you going to negate chaos? It never reacts the same way twice. It's always such a wild card. It's very erratic. You can't pre-plan something because it never follows the same path. It just kind of goes wherever. It doesn't go in a linear line either. You know, it just jumps forwards, backwards, side to side, up, down. You really don't know where it's going to go. And so that makes it very, very difficult to get in my way, to really, really negatively impact me. The only time I'm negatively impacted is when I allow that in. So as long as you don't allow that negativity in, as long as you don't allow other people's intentions to have some kind of power over you, Pisces, you exist so at home in the chaos that it's like, oh, whatever. And that's why people say, oh, Pisces is such a pushover. No, we're not pushovers. We just don't waste our time with that bullshit. We really don't. We're like, whatever. Okay, I'll just go over here instead. It doesn't matter because it doesn't. You're not going to stop a Pisces. If you're cross-watching and you think you're going to cross-watch because you're going to figure out the Pisces that you're trying to cross-watch for, you're never going to figure them out. They're never going to make sense unless you're a Pisces as well. And even then, it's really hard to make sense of why Pisces does what they do because it's just insanity, isn't it? But it's not. It's not. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it's not pure genius. Pure genius. It's very difficult to negate something you don't understand. And that's why you're never going to negate Pisces because it's very, very difficult to the point of, I think it might even be accurate to call it impossible to fully understand a Pisces. It's just something I've always had people telling me like, I don't get you. You're like a hot mess, but I can't stop coming around. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for calling me a hot mess. Yes, I am. Card number 29, hunger. You're hungry for validation. Okay. You're there howling for the recognition that you need, failing to realize the only one that needs to recognize you is yourself. You're not going to get this confirmation, validation, or recognition from someone else in such a way that will grow you. Instead, as people validate you, that's the more you're going to need other people to validate you. Unless you can get yourself out of that type of cycle, Pisces, you're going to live a very unsatisfied, unhappy life because you're going to keep seeking this from other people. And this is why many Pisces end up trying to bend over backwards for someone, trying to prove that they love them, all of this stuff. You know, part of me doesn't even understand it. The part of me that is more in tune with my moon, because my moon is Capricorn. Capricorn don't give a shit. You don't like me? Oh, well, okay, good. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. So I don't necessarily struggle with that. But I do recognize when I allow my Pisces energy to come forward more, I absolutely struggle with that. It's a very painful thing because it's like, well, why don't they think I'm a good person? Well, because they have issues. It's not really about you. They have issues. Most of the people that you'll come across, no matter what your sign is, when they have an issue with you, they're recognizing something within you that's a reflection of something they need to address within themselves. It's either something they've already outgrown and they don't want to go back there and recognize it, or it's something they're currently going through. So, Pisces, people's opinions of you is just that. It's just an opinion. It doesn't mean anything. Someone else cannot dictate your worth. You have to be the one to dictate that worth. Okay. You have to be the one to set your own price. If you want to put yourself on clearance, that's up to you, but you don't need to. You really don't. You don't need to. You're a one of a kind piece, and you need to really, really embrace and celebrate that about yourself. Okay. Card number 11, Queen Bee. This is about you recognizing you are a queen bee. You really, really are. And instead of recognizing that position you have within your world, within your creation, you keep diminishing yourself. Pisces has such a habit of diminishing themselves, really putting our own needs on the back burner. Like, oh, well, someone else needs this first. Oh, well, someone's going to get their feelings hurt if I speak the truth. Well, you know what? Sometimes they need to hurt because it's that pain that teaches them. I'm not saying be intentionally hurtful. I'm saying be intentionally truthful and allow them to have the messages that they need in order to grow in the way they need to grow. You don't get to dictate that. Just like someone doesn't get to dictate your worth and what you mean and any of that other stuff, you don't get to dictate that for other people as well. Okay? So you have to be intentionally truthful. You just do. If people get hurt by the truth, it's because it's something they needed to address. All right. As long as you're not intentionally trying to hurt them, it's not your fault that they react with pain, because really all you're doing is triggering a process that's already organically a part of them. Okay. Right. Demons have no power until you give it to them. That's really true. And yes, they feed on fear. They feed on fear. They feed on oblivion. If you're going to choose to be oblivious to what they're doing, they feed on that. That's why the whole concept, that teaching, there was someone that I was aware of some time ago, and they were trying to say that I am peddling fear, and that, demonic things, I call it parasitic things are made up, that I'm just making it up. Okay, well, you go ahead and ignore that. You've had that circumstance before you ever knew I was alive. So, but I made that up. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. It does. All right. But yeah. The very thing you're afraid of is what you need to face head on. All right, let's just pull a couple more cards. Okay. Ooh. So we got the 9 of Swords in reverse. Tears and frustrations, letting go of emotions. So Pisces, if you need to cry, then cry. There's nothing weak about crying. Crying does not happen to solve the problem. There was this meme that I had seen where it was like, crying doesn't solve anything. And then the person was like, I'm not crying to solve things. I'm crying to release. You have to let go of the emotions that are causing the blockages, that are preventing you from processing the fears and frustrations. I don't necessarily think you're afraid or frustrated. I think you are blocking your own ability to process. I think that's what's going on. So this card is in reverse. This is a recognition that in reality, Pisces tends to be very fearless, and it's very thinly veiled by aloofness and all those things they accuse Pisces of being. I don't think Pisces is afraid. And I think the only frustrations we feel are when we try and force someone else to see what our intuition is already showing us. So again, if you have to cry to let go, to release that emotion, then do it. There's nothing weak about that. Nothing. How powerful do you have to be able to show vulnerability in front of others? Knowing that there are people who exist who would love to take advantage of any weaknesses. How strong do you have to be? I recognize, because up until maybe, I don't know, like 2 years ago, yeah, about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, really no one in the public had ever seen me cry. Ever. Ever. Because I would never, to me, back then, that's a weakness. Showing someone they can hurt you, that's a weakness. They'll exploit that. So you don't ever let anyone see that. If need be, you meet aggression with elevated aggression. If they're going to be dark, be even darker so that you can crush it. And then I realized, that's really fear. That's a fear-based thing where I have to put up a front. I have to really put on some kind of show, because if I don't puff my chest feathers big enough, they might know that they can destroy me. And then when I came to the realization, nothing can destroy me but myself, and I allowed the emotions to flow. I still remember the very first time that I cried on a live stream. I was in a park, and it was Michael's fault. I still remember that shit. And everyone that was watching was like, holy shit, why is she crying? Oh my God, oh my God. And I was just like, I'm just so mad. Michael broke my brakes and fucking had me stranded for 5 months in a parking lot. Fucking asshole. So I cried because he admitted to me, I intentionally destroyed your brakes to break you down, to stop you, to slow you down because you kept running from your purpose. And it was really at that time, he had to do that in order for me to release my fear of going live. I didn't want to live stream. I had to be forced to live stream. And so really what's going on is that you are letting go of the very things that you're unnecessarily afraid of. Pisces is so fearless. But you've convinced yourself you're about this big, when in reality, you're so big you can't even fit into a box. There's no box that was designed to contain the greatness that you are, Pisces. There just really isn't. 3 of Cups in reverse, celebration, bright happenings. You haven't been celebrating yourself. You really, really haven't been celebrating yourself. For so many Pisces, it's like, this is you and yourself, and there's a third person. There's an individual that you're wanting and needing to come back, because if they don't come back, then blah, 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 blah. It's bullshit, Pisces. It's bullshit. What you need to do is celebrate yourself. And if other people want to join the celebration that you are, beautiful. If they don't, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm still celebrating. I'm still enjoying my life. I'm still recognizing how amazing I actually am. And here's the thing, for the cross watchers who are probably going to be all like, oh, she's so full of it. It's okay for you to be full of yourself. You should be full of yourself instead of allowing someone to convince you that you should be full of someone else. And when you do that, they say you're fake. You're never going to win that argument, Pisces. The best way is to just completely avoid that. So if you recognize your worth, if you're able to celebrate yourself, and there's people who are like, oh, you this and you that, and you think you're better. No, you think I'm better than you. I think I'm just good enough. I think I'm good enough for me to celebrate myself. It has nothing to do with you. But if you want to put yourself in this equation and start making comparisons, and you feel like you're coming up short, that's on you, because you don't recognize your own worth. That's not on me. Me recognizing, acknowledging, embracing my worth, my value, has nothing to do with tearing you down. And that's what you have to recognize. That's what you have to recognize. You recognizing your worth has nothing to do with tearing other people down. There's no comparing to other people. Because if you need to compare yourself to other people, compare your accomplishments to other people's accomplishments or lack thereof, that's not actually embracing your worth. You're still competing. And when you allow yourself to really enter into this place of personal power, there's no longer competition, not even within yourself. Because there's that saying, don't compete with others, compete with the you that you were yesterday. No, not even that. I'm not competing with the person that I was yesterday or last week. I'm looking back and I'm helping that version of me rise up right along with the current version of myself. Like, hey, girl, you had a rough week last week. It's okay. That week is done. We're a new person in a new week. Let's rise together. You're not a part of me. You're not a part of my journey that I should be ashamed of. Last week was a rough week. It's okay. We had a human experience. That's why we came into a human life, to experience the ups and downs, to be swinging naked on a wrecking ball. Yeah. Speaking of balls, two of pentacles. There you go. There you Okay. Totally vulgar, but there they are. That's your hater being a total that's your hater being a total vagina head. You know, that's a cervix right there. That looks like a cervix, and they're there fondling your balls. Okay, that was too much. That was too much. Let me just dial it back. Tell me that doesn't look like a freaking cervix or a tampon. Okay, let me just stop. Let me just stop. So the energies are intertwined. There is a specific individual. I'm not sure who it is. I'm not sure, but they're a vagina head. Internal vagina. um, oh my God. What does that have to do with a stamen? Okay. This was on the laptop, and then I was told stamen. I know that's a plant part. Is that like, okay, what is the stamen? Is that the plant's penis? It is. It is. It is. This the stamen is the male fertilizing organ of a flower. Okay, let me just the spiritual meaning. What is these? Hold on. Um, it comes from destiny and luck and channels the life challenges and symbolism to always have in mind. Hold on. Hold on. It's the yang energy. Yang. Yang. Yin and yang. Ooh. Okay. Additional messages. Okay. Additional messages. So, Pisces, sometimes this is you trying to juggle the two energies, trying to keep them separate. Sometimes you're seen as someone who tramples on hearts because this fella looks like he's doing an Irish jig, fucking Lord of the Dance. Is that what it was called? He's river dancing in front of the ocean, stomping on hearts and shit. And I'm being told to point this out. So Pisces, this is your boat. Okay, your boat is a formidable, sizable thing, and there's someone that is trailing after you. All right, someone who's trailing after you, and I don't necessarily know that they want you to notice. Maybe a part of them kind of does, but they're skittish and they're not trying to disrupt the balance. Oh, wow. Okay, so I was told to look closer at the cards. This blanket that you have over you on Nine of Swords, it has all the zodiac signs on it. What is? Do y'all know what this sign is? Is that like Virgo? Hold on. Ah. Okay. It's Scorpio. Not that there's anything wrong with Scorpio, but let's see. There's other messages coming through. All right. Oh, then Scorpio and Sagittarius. Where's the other? And Capricorn. Capricorn is wedged in the middle of Scorpio and Sagittarius. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Let's go back. So now we have 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Peace of mind, contentment. Pisces, you're never going to have peace of mind or contentment so long as you allow yourself to be kept upside down, okay? So long as you allow yourself to be kept unbalanced because of other people's perceptions, because of your own unfair, unrealistic expectations of yourself, you're never going to find center or be balanced so long as you continue participating in that BS. All right. You never are. You never are. And if you think you have, look deeper within yourself and you'll recognize you've been playing a game. Okay. You'll recognize that you're just playing a part and convincing yourself that everything's all good. I know so many Pisces that do that. So many Pisces that do that, where you're really unhappy, you're unsatisfied, you're feeling unfulfilled, but you are so good at convincing yourself that you are. You know, that's that. Oh, here's a deck. All right, Pisces, let's get you a final card. Let's get you some poetry, because Pisces thinks poetry is sexy. Oh, well, shit. What does that even mean? Okay, this is crazy. So it looks like this angel has multiple appendages. One is carrying a big ass, pirate ass looking sword. The other hand is carrying what looks like, I want to say that looks like an AR-15, or it might be an SBR. Short barrel rifle. Bullpups. Those are sexy. Those are definitely sexy. What is this about, though? What does this mean? 2 cards. Okay. You want to play games? Let's play games. I like games. I don't. I'm joking. These are just crazy ass cards. Okay. Card number 29, the right choice. So to me, without reading the poetry, this card tells me sometimes you have to fight. Sometimes you have to cut them down. When they're trying to block your way, you take out that fucking machete and you cut that shit down, okay? Nothing stops you from your path. Nothing should be allowed to block your way. If you got to cut them down, if you got to shoot them down, whatever. Well, no, don't really shoot people for real. I'm talking about spiritual terms. I actually don't really like violence. It triggers my PTSD. But there's a lot of people watching. That's the thing, Pisces. There's a lot of people watching. If you look, all of this texture right here and up here, if you really allow yourself to look at it, it looks like crowds watching, just watching, waiting for you to fail, waiting for you to have a breakdown, waiting for you to show them that you're weak, show them this, show them that. Fuck those people. Seriously, that kind of shit pisses me off. Go ahead, watch me. Keep watching me, waiting for me to fail. You're going to be fucking watching forever. I will never allow myself to fail and stay in that state of failure. I will always pick myself up, get back up, and keep fucking swinging. Pisces, you need to really let yourself pull that in. All these fuckers watching, waiting for you to fail, to fall. Notice how you're at the center. Notice how much larger than life you actually are. Okay? Notice that. Recognize that about yourself. It's not a competition. because those who are elevated no longer need to compete. Instead, we are here to simply experience. So allow yourself to experience, okay? There is one person who stands behind you. Well, okay, it has to do, hold on. This boat straggling behind you, they're also a being of light, and they're trying to stay a little bit behind to not get in your way, just like they're trying to stay a little bit behind while you try and figure out how to balance the commingling of energies. And I think, wow, is that what it is? I don't like this message. Uh, so here, okay, here. This is the one person, one being that is of elevated significance for you on this journey. It's this sense that they're the one that is being heavily, heavily attacked, and you're standing as a shield. Wow, that's deep. That is so deep. And I get this message that for some of us, they're not straggling behind because they don't want you to notice or want to stay out of your way. You are tugboating them. You are pulling them. Okay. Oh, good Lord. I had it wrong the whole time. Pisces, that's you. Humbled, small, thinking you're of no great significance, yet you're pulling this powerhouse behind you. You're the one pulling them. What the fuck? Okay, let me stop with my high pitched. Okay. I'll get you poetry for this card. There was another card that fell out too. So card number 29, the right choice. Stay close to those who know about the heart. Choose the shade of a tree that's in constant bloom. Don't meander aimlessly among the herb sellers and potion vendors. Go directly to the shop that sells nothing but sweets. Don't sit waiting by every boiling pot to have your plate filled. Not every boiling pot is cooking what you want. Not every sugar cane is filled with sugar. Not every down has an up. Not every eye has vision. Not every sea contains pearls. Within you, I recognize my most trusted friend. We go back a long way to before that moment when time began. We knew each other then, even before time was born. So I say, hello, my old dear friend. So lovely for us to meet again. And I feel how your heart responds with a wave of love, for it is that love that is you, my most trusted friend. Let's see. Ooh. On the path of love, there's not so much wrong and right in the moral sense, so much as what is wrong or right for you. The mind cannot help so much here. Only the heart can speak such truths. The mind may reject it, recoil, analyze, and find all the reasons why the simple truth, the right choice of the heart, cannot possibly work and only lead to pain. That is what the mind does rather well, actually. But it doesn't mean the right choice, the heart choice, becomes incorrect. It means rather that the heart has outsmarted the mind, and the mind will need to bow to the heart, even without understanding its sometimes impenetrable mysteries. Or one can choose to stay in the inner conflict, fighting against the right choice. But eventually, love will prevail and the way forward must be taken. So, can you give up what you have planned, believed, or decided? Let the heart wisdom that silently and constantly broadcasts its pure and true intention into the fertile womb of the universe lead the way instead. It will lead you along the right path to the right house where sits the right master for you. He grabs you in a bear hug and gently whispers into your ear, "What took you so long? I've been waiting for you since the day you were born. Now we are together. It's time for us to play." It's said that one man's meat is another man's poison. To base your choices on what others have chosen for themselves may end up killing you. Better to take your risks on the angel of your own heart. Wise as that being is, dance to your own heart rhythm instead. There may be fear if others seem to be dancing different steps. But beloved, you know that is just because every heart has its own unique rhythm, and yours doesn't want to waltz so much as it wants to tango. So why not allow it to be thus without fear or doubt? This oracle comes with a message for you. In your heart, you know what holds meaning for you. You may or may not have a grand vision to go along with that meaning as yet, but deep within, you know what is without value and what holds value for you. You were born with those values intact in your heart, and whatever confusion has arisen for you along the way is just where the values of others have transfused into your own blood. It's time for a transfusion of holy light into that blood to be cleansed and purified, restored to its integrity, and filled with passion for what is rightfully yours, your unique passion and purpose. If you've been concerned about your path and what steps to take next, this oracle comes as an omen of good things headed your way. Clarity, reassurance, truth, and revelation. Don't hold on to a belief system or vision if it appears to be tossed on its head. Remember, I had that card upside down. La, 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 la. There, 9 of Pentacles upside down. Okay, as long as you continue to see yourself in an upside down way, you won't have clarity. Let things go the way they will, and good fortune will prevail for you. That vision might actually be born for you if allowed to topple. Wait, that vision may actually have been upside down all this time and suddenly be able to right itself and be born for you if allowed to topple. Or perhaps there is a more fulfilling version of your vision lurking in its remnants, to be scooped up by your soul with its hawk vision and eagle deafness. There is a hawk. Where is it? What card was it? Okay, I don't know. Maybe it was the reading earlier. Okay. Trust that if you're being drawn away from a tantalizing sweet shop, there's a more delicious array of confection just around the corner for you. So yes, have your tantrum if you must, but you will be sheepish soon when you realize the hand of the great beloved that removes is the same hand that bestows even greater gifts. So, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What's an inside job? I hope you're not talking politics. Okay, the next card. This card fell out. I'll read you the poetry. Card number 14. Let love transform. The spring of love arrives to transform the dust into a garden. The call is heard from the heavens to bid the wings of soul to fly. The sea becomes filled with pearls. The dry land receives the water of life. The stone becomes a ruby and the body becomes all soul. Love is my medicine, intelligent medicine. It takes death and makes it a passageway into greater life. What genius is this? A genius that will render anything and everything as a pathway to life. A love seed is carved of precious ruby. It sits under the gentle shade of an ancient tree that thrives in love's garden. Come sit with me as we let the whispers of the great beloved penetrate our hallowed ears, carried upon the sweet afternoon breeze. As the sun begins to set, the colors become vibrant. Even if we are deaf to the beloved's tender whispers, we shall not be blind. We shall be captured by the vivid display of the beloved's artistry and be transported into peace. This oracle comes to you as a living spiritual gift. Whether you realize it or not, you have triumphed. You have blossomed, succeeded, cast aside that which was unworthy, and taken up love's way. How much delight there is from all those that walk this way of love, of life, to find another precious companion in their midst. You are welcomed into this world where love finds a way. There is nothing impossible for love. It's not bound by the mind, and because of this, all manner of miraculous grace works through it in endless creative variety. The great beloved is a show-off, creating with such genius as to be breathtaking. Were we able to remain always in the heart, we would be constantly breathless in a fit of appreciation and awe so great. Truly, there would not be even a slither of emptiness through which fear could enter. This is about releasing, once again, we're releasing the blockages that cause the fear, that allow the fear to grow to unhealthy amounts. You don't have to be afraid of your path. You don't have to be afraid of your greatness. You don't have to be afraid of anything. And Just like you don't have to be afraid, you also don't have to destroy or remove fear. Fear exists for a reason. It brings your attention to the very things that you're needing to pay attention to. Once upon a time, when we still existed through instinct, when we were wild animals, we needed instinct to help us stay safe. It's that sense of fear that brought our attention to potential threats. Now, really nothing threatens you. Nothing but your own decision to stay small. So that fear is bringing your attention to the very things that are helping to perpetuate this attempt to stay small. You're not small, Pisces. You're not small at all. It's time for you to allow yourself to expand to proper dimensions in consciousness, in thought, in heart. You have to allow for that expansion, because as you expand, it allows more of that divine energy in and helps to fuel your rise. And honestly, I really, really feel, not just because I'm a Pisces, but I've been feeling this for some time now. Pisces is designed to lead the way, not because we're better, but because we can feel on such a deeper level. And that feeling, that ability to feel at such depths, is what humanity kind of needs right now. We exist in a world devoid of emotion. Everyone is just doing their job. What if it's your job to feel? What if it's your job to allow those feelings to guide you down the path you need to be on? Because there's so many other people following behind you who, for one reason or another, feel very lost in their own life, and they look to you because you're this shining bright star. Whether you want to be or not, whether you're trying to be or not, there are those who see you as a bright star in their dark night. And so if that's how some people see you, that's for a reason, because they recognize the gravity of who and what you are, even if you don't. That's the most beautiful thing about creation that I found. Whether you believe in yourself or not, it's a moot point. Like, well, I don't believe I am. Yeah, well, there's 5 other people that believe you are. What makes you think that your lackluster opinion of yourself is more valid than 5 other people's recognition of your truth? Just because you're blind, you're intentionally blinding yourself because you don't want to look in the mirror. You're afraid of what you're going to see. Doesn't mean the people who are standing behind you can't see your reflection. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. And this has a lot to do with Pisces' inability and unwillingness to see the gravity of who and what they are. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't mean that there's anything negative about you. It just means you need to recognize this about yourself at this point. Okay? The world is really struggling with not knowing what direction to face, much less travel. So allow your light to shine bright. Just allow it. You don't even have to try to shine. That's the thing. You don't have to try. This is naturally who you are. You shine. So allow it. That's all you have to do. Get out of your own way. Okay? Get out of your own way. Let people recognize you for what you are to them. And that's a huge lesson. Huge, huge lesson that I too am struggling with. Allowing people to have the freedom to recognize you for whatever you are for them. You don't get to dictate that. They get to decide. They get to be the one to decide, like, you are an amazing person to me. Oh, but no, I'm blah, blah, blah. No, girl, no. You don't correct someone else's perception of you. You don't correct someone else's appreciation of your presence in their journey. You simply show gratitude for their ability to recognize something within you that you yourself are unable to recognize. Ooh. Ooh, that's deep. I might have to rewatch this live stream. You guys, I gotta go. This is getting too deep for my own self. This is rocking my brain. Oh, wow. I gotta go. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me every single time I'm live. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this space with me. I'm going to try and go. No, I can't. I don't have time. I have to start sessions. Maybe I can go live later on today to do the other zodiac signs. So thank you guys for being so patient with me not being able to go live as much. Promise, once I have Wi-Fi and finish this relocation stuff, I will be all up in your screen. Not really, but it sounded good. Not really. Okay. Bye, guys.